and day in the life videos, okay? Day in the life videos, of course, are a special type of demonstrative exhibit. They're some of the most powerful evidence that we can show of our clients' injuries and of their life and what they've had to go through. And the foundation must be laid for presentation of a day in the life by a person with knowledge of the objects and the activities that are displayed in the video. And importantly, this does not have to come from a medical doctor even when therapies or medical treatments are included. For example, in the case I just had, the mother went with her daughter to all of her physical therapy treatments, went to the neurology treatments with her, and so on. So she was perfectly equipped to say, yes, this is an accurate portrayal of what she goes through at therapy. This is an accurate portrayal of what she has to do in the mornings to care for herself, what I have to do to assist her with those things, and so on. The purpose of a day in the life video, of course, is to show the plaintiff's condition at the time of trial. Now, Jerry made a good point, of course, if you have a really bad injury case and you want to present evidence of what the plaintiff was like earlier on at the more acute onset of their injury, that's fine too. But in terms of defeating an objection, which you will get, that disclosure was untimely, the defendants are prejudiced because they didn't know how injured your client was, and that they're seeing this video footage for the first time, it's not legitimate. It's a demonstrative exhibit. It does not have to be disclosed during the course of discovery. It can be disclosed right on the eve of or even during trial. Defendant absolutely does not have a right to be present at the taping of the day in the life video. They often assert that objection. They have no right to be there. It's work product. And similarly, they're not entitled to any of the outtakes. I'm actually working on a post-trial motion right now for the brachial plexus case verdict we obtained, and one of the kind of, I think, futile objections they make is that they weren't given all the outtakes, and so they aren't able to really determine the true extent of her injuries. Yeah. And here are 3 cases. I put all of them in full in your materials, but they stand for all of the above propositions. So if and when you prepare a day in the life and you're at trial and all these baseless objections are asserted, you've got the cases right there. And then finally, this is the brachial plexus case that we just had. And we put together a day in the life video for this. I'm going to skip these. And I worked with Geraldine Kaleric and Jason back there from Evidence Video. They do a fantastic job. They were a real asset to me when putting all of this together. I hadn't had a brachial plexus case before, and Geraldine immediately said, look, here's what you got to do, okay? We have to get therapy. Therapy is such a huge part of her day-to-day. We got to get this, we got to get that. So we worked together and closely with the family, but highlighting, of course, everyday activities, right? You don't want to show the most extreme examples of your plaintiff's injuries. You want to show the everyday impacts, the things that are really contributing to their loss of a normal life. You want to highlight, when you can, side-by-side comparisons, and these are especially effective when your plaintiff is a child, because, for me, I don't have kids, I don't know what an 8-year-old should be able to do, but when I see what a plaintiff who's got an injury and is 8 years old can't do, and what a normal and healthy 8-year-old can do, that's really striking. And then finally, you want to incorporate therapy and medical care, because again, that contributes to loss of a normal life. When you're spending all this time in doctor's visits and in therapies instead of going out and being social with your friends, participating in school like a normal kid, you want to highlight that. Can I play this? So here's our little girl. We, as I said, laid the foundation through the mother because she, of course, was very familiar with what her daughters had to go through and takes her to all her physical therapy appointments and so on. She sleeps in that brace every night, so we had the mother testify to that every night, reluctantly, she has to put on this brace. Every morning, she tries to shower and take care of herself and brush her own teeth, but there are a lot of things that she really can't do on her own. So she's 10 years old at the time of trial. Her mom still has to help her wash her hair, wash her back. The main injury in this case, as I said, was a C5, C6 nerve rupture, and so her arm, her right arm's the damaged one. She just basically had a limited range of motion. So she could, touch her head, but as far as any dexterity or rotation back, she couldn't do that. She also had some postural defects that you see with children with brachial plexus injuries. So we kind of highlighted that through, and here's a good example. So she can reach her hand up to her shoulder, but any ability to do anything behind her head really didn't exist. And again, we had the mom on direct, talk about all of this, kind of outline all these things. And then after she was done doing that, I played the video to just reinforce everything she just showed us. And when talking to the jury, they really appreciated this. They liked that they were able to see the impacts that it had on her day-to-day life. This is her 5-year-old little brother. This is one of those side-by-side comparisons I'm talking about. So for him, peeling an orange, no problem. Making breakfast, no problem. But she struggled with it. Her fine motor in her right hand is really difficult for her. And in addition to the professional physical therapy that she has to undergo, she does a lot of at-home therapy. So this is, of course, an abridged version of what we presented at trial, but she uses this electronic muscle stimulator every day. She really doesn't like it. She finds it painful, but the doctors recommend she do it every day for at least 20 or so minutes. So we included that. We included examples of the therapy that she does at home, the stretching that she does, the massaging that she has to do with cooperation of her family. And then we ended with the therapy visits. So again, this is an abridged version, but her therapist was really great. She went through, did all these stretches as though she was doing an initial evaluation to really highlight the range of motion issues that were, the crux of the damages case. And that's all. Thank you.
Thanks, Kate.